Do you enjoy the tower defense genre, but want a different take on it? Well, in Sweatshop, a browser game made by Little Loud in 2011, you play a manager in trading of a factory, making knockoff designer goods for big corporations. It is your goal to make them fast, high quality, and get paid big. As a manager in training, you get your orders from the boss of the factory, a jerk with a comb-over and a bad temper. He will speak to you before, after, and sometimes during a level, and will give you orders, advice, or warnings. Another character who speaks to you often is a little boy who works at the factory. He is often the voice of reason and kindness, and will give you advice in order to help the workers out. As the levels progress, there will be cutscenes that show the corporations dealing with your boss. The farther you get means the bigger the jobs, the more items to process, new workers to hire, new objects to buy, and newer factories to work in. As the title suggests, you are in charge of running a sweatshop. It is your choice as manager to be as nice or evil as possible in order to get the job done. By interacting with the interface with the left mouse, you can select workers and objects, placing them where you want and interact with them. There are 9 different workers with specialties in shirts, hats, bags, shoes, packaging, fire control, and repairs. The last 2 are children, who are cheap labor, and robots, who do the work of 2 workers but are expensive. The workers who specialize in certain products will work on any product on the conveyor belt, but will work faster in what they specialize in. They will assemble the product as well as package it, unless there is a packer. The packer packages the product. If a packer is further down the line from a worker, the worker will not put in the energy to package the product, for that is the packer's job. Basically, it saves the workers from getting tired from focusing on too much. Like the workers, packaging is the specialty, and they will assemble products if need be. The mechanic is used in order to fix rusted conveyor belts. He will fix the area around him and can be promoted to increase his area of effect. I will discuss promotions more a little later. If these belts aren't fixed, the workers have a chance of injury, which will make them useless and leave you no choice but to fire them. And finally, when there are exposed wires by boxes, there will be a fire. Fires will not only damage products, but they will also kill workers. The way to prevent or stop fires is to hire a fire officer. He will prevent and put out any fires in his area of influence, which can be increased when promoted. The majority of the jobs consist of putting the right workers in the right locations, making sure they can work as little or as big an area as you want, and making sure you get your money's worth. That is either making the workers' lives happier or more miserable. This is done in different ways. If you want to be good to your workers, and if they are tired, it's best to get them something to drink. A tired worker is a worker not working, and will eventually die if they're not eventually helped. If a worker dies, the spot they died on cannot be used. So if a worker is dying, it is best to either fire them or help them before it's too late. Getting a water cooler, soda, or juice machine from the refreshment object here will refresh your workers when used. But that's only if you don't want dead or tired workers filling the factory, slowing down production, and costing you money. If you want happier workers that give you more money for the work they complete, then getting a fan, a toilet, or a heater from the comfort object here will do just that. And if you want a more productive and skilled workers, getting a radio, LED sign, or a loudspeaker system from the productivity object here might just help. These items will only be a benefit to your workers and yourself if they are in range of the object. Each item is on a different tier, making it so that the next item is even more effective, has a longer range, and a possible adverse effect. For example, if you use the loudspeaker system called to noise, it will make your workers work faster, but it will tire your workers quicker. Another way to make your workers more effective is to promote them by clicking on them for the promote button or double clicking on them. But of course, this will require money, and it becomes a choice between hiring someone new or making an existing worker better. If a worker is tired, this is one way of fixing that, besides the refreshment object here. But of course, this can only be a temporary solution. In total, there are 3 factories with 10 levels each. On each of these levels, you need to process a certain number of products, without a set number of unfinished products passing through to the end. How to beat this time limit and get time bonuses is by changing the conveyor belt speed by clicking on the button or hitting the spacebar. While this does move the product faster, it also has the effect of tiring workers who are trying to keep it all up. It's all about finding the right balance to make it all work. If you fail a level, you get your contract ripped in half, get insulted by your boss, and will get a choice between quitting and retrying the level. When you complete a level, you can get one of 3 medals from your score: bronze, silver, or gold. The score is based on the quality of the items, the time it took, and how much cash you made. The higher the totals, the better the medal. After the score is tallied up, you can view the stage summary screen that will show off statistics on what you did, as well as real-life information about sweatshops. From here, you can click to retry the level, continue on to the next level, or see your CV. The CV is your career view. It is a place where you can see your progress in terms of karma and the statistics that relate to your karma. Your karma will affect the ending that you receive at the end of the game. The CV will also show how many of each type of medals you have collected. If you want, you can post this to Twitter or Facebook if you so desire. From the CV page, you can look at the trophies page. Basically, these are achievements that you can earn in the game doing certain tasks. From the level select or within a level, you can click on the question mark in the lower right hand corner for help. This menu gives basics, info on certain workers, info on objects, and a few other useful things. The visuals are bright and colorful, contrasting the dark tone of the subject matter, and everything has a great amount of detail put into them. Yes, there are only 2 variations of each worker, male and female, except for the fire officer, packer, mechanic, and the robot, that only have 1 look. But that doesn't really matter when looking at the different expressions put on their faces. The thing that is slightly creepy is the deaths and injuries, which come off as cutesy-ish with the game's look. The game's aesthetic brings a nice clean look that reminds me of Ghost Trick, highly detailed and colorful. As for the audio, bleeps and bloops are abound, giving everything a retro feel. Most of the music, like the visuals, juxtapose the theme and bring an upbeat, chiptune sounding soundtrack, with only 2 that are gloomy: A Child's Work Is Never Done and Think Before You Buy. There is an option to turn the audio on and off in the bottom right hand corner if the need arises. Outside the game at the website, you can download the soundtrack, 2 wallpapers, IM icons, as well as learn more about real-life sweatshops. Well, Sweatshop covers a dark topic. It presents itself as a fun tower defense-esque game, while also informing its players of the real sweatshop issue in the world. Not only making it entertaining, fun, and funny, but also informative. Sweatshop can be played on the developer's website, along with a few others that will be linked in the description. Any feedback on this video, or any of my other videos, would be appreciated. If you want to see more of my work or my last reviews, click the links provided.